Mata o ai shite ureshii desu yo. Nice to see you again. I'm Madame Sensei, aligning Duolingo Japanese with my in-person class. We're still on Food 1, and we've done all the prerequisites. We've looked at the culture, we've looked at the particles, we've looked at the kanji, and now we get to dive into the sentences. And there's more culture along with these sentences. Here we go. Itadakimasu is a very, very polite way to say, I humbly receive this. And it's something you say at the start of every single meal. It doesn't matter if anyone is there to listen to you. You say it all to yourself, and you can clap your hands together if you'd like. But this kind of, we call it aizuchi, very, very important in the Japanese culture. Even if no one's around, you still have to say this. Okay, it's just something that you do. And then when the meal is over, you say gochusou-sama deshita. Gochusou-sama deshita. That chi sound is a voiceless vowel, so it's not gochi-sou-sama, it's gochusou-sama. And here you can see dewa instead of ja. You can leave off the deshita if you want. You can just say gochusou-sama. It's more casual. But it's like, it was a feast. Duolingo was very literal here with thank you for the meal. That's not exactly what we'd say in English, so I decided to type in, that was delicious, because that's what we'd say at the end of a meal. Duolingo didn't like it. I hit the report button. Give them a month. They'll accept it. Oh, you'll notice here the ja instead of dewa. And they even added an extra A for ja instead of just ja, which is okay. You could do that in Japanese. Dore o nomimasu ka? Dore o nomimasu ka? There's our dore, which one? O, direct object. I will drink which one? Or you will drink which one? Remember, we don't want to say anata. So just leave it out, look someone in the eye, and say nomimasu ka, and they know you're talking about them. It's that simple. Which one will you drink? Which will you drink? It's fine. Dore ga mizu desu ka? Now here we're not asking for something. It's not give me mizu. It's which one as the subject. And so we're going to use nga. We will never, ever, ever use wa here. Never. Wa does not go with the question word. Okay? But the ga does. Dore ga mizu desu ka? Kore to kore o kudasai. I forget if I've introduced to to you or not, because it's been many, many lessons later. I know that for my students in the classroom, I have talked about to a lot. For you online students, I don't know. I don't remember. To is and. Kore to kore o kudasai. Give me this one and this one. And then the kudasai, please. Sakana o tabemasu. I eat fish. He eats fish. They eat fish. It's all the same. I could have typed any of those. So here we have eat, direct object, fish. じゃあ、パンをください. Again, this could have been dewa. Pan is borrowed from the Portuguese word. There were Jesuit ministers came to Japan in the 1700s, and bread was not a Japanese thing. They didn't grow wheat and make it into bread. They would make noodles, but the whole concept of bread was different. So that's why it's written in katakana, because it's a foreign word. O mizu o kudasai. Notice here the honorific o. You could say just mizu o kudasai, give me water. Adding the o softens it, makes it a little more polite. We call it the honorific o, because water is important. Niku to yasai o tabemasu. Again, we got the niku to and yasai o tabemasu. Pan o tabemasu. And I wrote I eat bread, but I could have written I eat the bread. I could have written I eat some bread. It's all the same in Japanese. You're going to tell by context. Very contextual language. Pan wa tabemasen. Now look at this. Pan o tabemasu. I eat bread. Pan wa tabemasen. This is called the emphatic wah. We are sticking a wah in here to say, hey, there's a negative coming up. I don't eat bread. Yes, you can say pan o tabemasen. That's okay. But the wa sounds a little more natural. You're going to hear it more. Oops, I'm not in Japanese anymore. Give me a second to switch to Japanese. There we go. You have seen this emphatic wa in de wa arimasen. That wa there just means there's a negative coming up. De is half of des. The masen is making it negative. De wa arimasen. Pan wa tabemasen just means there's a negative coming up. Get ready for it. Emphatic wa. Yasai wa tabemasen. I don't eat vegetables. Emphatic wa. Niku to sakana wa tabemasen. Okay. Meat and fish wa tabemasen. I will show you in class that I would probably put a mo in here instead of a to, just to make it even more emphatic, more emphasis on the fact that I don't eat either meat or fish in the same sentence. Sore wa nan desu ka? Here's our sore, kore, are sentences. Sore wa nan desu ka? Could have been are wa nan desu ka? Because in English we don't differentiate between the that that's close to you and the that that's far away from both of us. Dore desu ka? Des, not technically a verb, just a politeness marker. So we don't need to do some of the stuff that we normally do for verbs here, okay? It's never going to have a direct object particle, for example. And here there's no reason to put a nga or a wa there. We don't have anything before the des, okay? And there wouldn't be a wa there anyway. Are wa nan desu ka? I like how I got a picture of Junior just as he was closing his eyes, so it looks like he's really suspicious. Are wa nan desu ka? All right, so those are the sentences. These are all the words that you come across. Oh, here's ringo, apple. I think we talked about that. Everything else I think I covered. So your shukudai, your homework, is I want you to go around your house. Even if you have no one to talk to, you're going to have what we call shower conversations. You're just thinking in your head, talk to yourself, talk aloud. I know I just said thinking in your head, but you're really talking to yourself. Talk aloud so you can hear your voice, okay? Pick up something and say, kore wa nan desu ka? Answer yourself, kore wa, and if you don't know it in Japanese, that's okay. Put the English word in there. This is called code switching. Kore wa pillow desu. Okay, maybe you don't know makura yet. That's okay. Then point at something and imagine that you're talking to someone who's the thing is close to them. Okay, maybe put a stuffed animal near it, or if you've got a cat or a dog. Sore wa nan desu ka? Point at something near your cat or your dog or near your stuffed animal. Sore wa pillow desu. Are wa nan desu ka? Point at something way away from either you or the person you're imagining or whoever else is in the house with you. Are wa pillow desu. Okay? And then occasionally throw in a question, dore desu ka? Okay? And then you could say, sore desu. Sore wa nan desu ka? You know, you can emphasize it a little bit more. You can come back to it. All right. Ask me questions in class. Arigatou gozaimasu. Mata ne.